All right, so this week we're learning about rotations. Now, in a rotation, we spin a figure pretty much around a center point, right? So the size of the shape isn't going to change. Really, I mean, its position is going to change a little bit. The figure itself doesn't change. It's the orientation of the figure. It's going to spin in a circle. So let's take a look at like the major rotations we're going to be seeing. And for all intents and purposes here in class, we are going to be rotating all of our figures counterclockwise, which I've drawn a little figure if you're unfamiliar with counterclockwise. So if this is our original figure, we'll say that this is our center point right here. And I got to get my cursor. It's not working. All right. So we're going to spin our figure like so, right? Counterclockwise this way. So the three orientations we're going to is a 90-degree rotation, a 180-degree rotation, and a 270-degree rotation. You can see like we're, spinning in relationship to a circle. 90 degrees is like a quarter spin. So if we take we spin it 90 degrees this way, we go like in a quarter circle. You can see it went from this to this. All right, it's the same figures, just facing a different way. 180-degree rotation is a half a circle. So if we're starting here, our original figure, and we spin it in a half, we end up like this. Okay, so we go from here to here. The 180-degree rotation is the easiest to recognize because it flips upside down or backwards. It's like a mirror image. Okay, and then we're also going to be looking at 270 degrees. So from 270 degrees, that is 3/4 of a circle. So we start spinning this way. Here's 100, and we stop here. Whoops, with 270. So you go in 3/4 of a circle. You go from this figure to this figure. So the orientations we're going to be talking about to rotations. Okay, and how to tell how many degrees around a rotation is gone. So today we talked about how to rotate an object on a grid ourselves, and we do that using the XY coordinates that correspond to that object's vertices, its corners. So we have three rules we're going to look at, and we're just going to take them one at a time. We're going to start with a 90-degree rotation. So the rule for a 90-degree rotation here is that given your XY pair, you flip your X and Y and you make your Y negative. Now this is a really important note down here. The negative sign means it's opposite. So if the original point is already negative, it becomes positive. All right, so that's important to know. Anyway, I've got a little example right here where if our original point is 3 and 4, when we apply this rule, we flip our X and Y and our Y becomes negative, so we would get -4 and 3. Okay, over here we have a triangle. Its points are 2, -1, 4, -1, 2, and 1. So we are going to apply our 90-degree rule, which is that we flip our X and Y and the Y becomes its opposite. So this 2 and 1, we're going to flip them. Y becomes its opposite. So this is actually going to be +1, 2. And that's right here. All right. This point down here, which is 4 and -1, we flip our X and Y. Our Y becomes negative, so it is 1, 4. And this point here, flip our X and Y. Our Y becomes negative, so it is -1, 2, which is right here. And when we connect our dots, we can see that our triangle has rotated around the center point of 0, 0. It has rotated 90 degrees, and now it's up here. Okay, the second rule we're going to look at is a 180 degree rotation. In order to do that, you simply make your x and y negative or their opposites. So for example, if our original point is 3, 4, our 180 degree rotation will make it -3, -4. The 180 degree rotation is the easiest one. So everything just becomes its opposite. That means that 2, -1 becomes -2, +1. So -2, +1 would be right here. All right. 4, -1 would become -4, +1. Whoops, and I forgot to label. So this is -2, +1. This is -4, +1. All right, labels are important. And then our point up here would become -2, -1. So -2, -1. -2, -1. Connect our dots, and our triangle has rotated 180 degrees, which once again, -x, -y. All right. So the final rotation we have then is 270 degrees. Just like the 90 degree rotation, we flip our x and our y. This time our x becomes negative. So if our original point was 3 and 4, after our rotation we would have 4, -3. Okay, so we flip our x and y and our x becomes negative. So if we're going to do a triangle, flip our x and y, x becomes negative. So this first point would be -1, -2. So that's right here. -1, -2. Our second point would become -1, -4. And that's, whoops, going to go off the video, so I'm going to write it right there. So -1, -4. And our final point would be, 1, -2. See, it's hard to remember. 1, -2. Connect our dots, and there we are.